Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Imran Siddiq. Welcome to Web Squadron. It's 8 p.m. Wednesday, the 24th, 2 days away from Black Friday. If you're watching this on repeat, I hope you had a great Black Friday. And if you have not got to Black Friday yet, do not spend your money without thinking very carefully about what you really need to be spending your money on, okay? Always think wisely. Now, today we're going to just be playing around with Elementor pages. We're just going to I'm just going to be experimenting and doing stuff. But the main thing about the live chats is that you do ask questions. By the way, I've got tons and tons of videos coming out over the next 3-4 days. Please keep a watch out for them because some of them have got some really cool, exciting stuff that I've discovered how to do with Elementor. And for anyone who hasn't already got one of these Elementor expert licenses or an agency license, please do go and watch the video I released on Monday. It's got a affiliated link. Of course, I will make some money out of it as well, I think, if you go and buy some Elementor Pro licenses. It just helps us to continue investing in the lighting and the cameras. We've got a brand new face cam, by the way, and I think the quality on it is pretty awesome and pretty cool. Arundum, hey, how you doing? Good to see you here. And Charlie, always good to have you back here, my good friend. Okay, so we're just going to play around with Elementor, and like I said, if you haven't got a pro license, please do think about going to get one. Because remember, even when you're just starting out, if you get a license, say 25 licenses or 3 licenses, you can sell them back to your client. You can charge them the full $49 or say, hey, I'll give it to you for $40. So you don't have to go to Elementor Pro directly. And if you've bought 3 licenses or 25 licenses, that is how you're going to start to make quite a lot of profit. Okay, cool. Right, so just going to make sure I'm in the right position here for this camera. I'm just going to slightly adjust it a little bit. There we go. Cool. Just check the questions here. Hey, John. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Yes. Hope you're enjoying your turkey. Are you having turkey? I do love turkey at Christmas time. Right, so with Elementor Pro, we are just going to be playing around here. I'm just going to insert a section with 3 columns. And I'm going to stick into here. We're going to stick in a header. And, this is kind of like common sense now when you come to Elementor. And this is a question that crops up a lot when people call... Sorry, let me rephrase that. People contact me a lot about they go, my website's not responsive. Because what they do is they go and create lots of content, but they stop thinking about, well, did you check the responsive mode at each stage? So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to type into here, happy Thanksgiving. Nothing to do with Charlie saying it, of course. Let's get rid of this column here, in fact. Okay, we're going to go with happy Thanksgiving. We're going to go to a style. We're going to set our color. And I'm going to go to font and I'm going to go for railway. And I'm just going to give it a REM of 3. Now, no, we'll go with 2.5 in fact. 2.5. Always do REM for your fonts. I cannot repeat this enough. If you are using pixels, get away from that for your font. Always use REM. It's a lot more responsive. Yes, you have to resize it when you get to your mobile. You still got to maybe adjust the size. But from tablet or desktop to mobile, it will slightly adjust depending on the device. And it is very important you think about this. For the weight, we'll just go with 500 like that. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go to the section. And I'm just going to give it some padding of about 100 from the top. And I'm going to go 200 from the bottom. Now, this layout, I haven't actually set a boxed width yet. But for simplicity, I'm just going to go with 1000. Just so everything looks fine on the screen. Now then, I'm going to add in some text. I'm not going to add in any text, by the way. I'm just putting it in here just to show you how I like to work. So the way I like to do things is you put your word in, you then sort out your styles. Railway, and we're going to go in REM of about 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is a bit big actually. We'll go with 1.3. And we'll go with the weight of 400. And this is then when you start to think about, are we going to have anything over on this side over here? So I'm just going to stick in a image. And I'm going to go for, let's go for this little deer image. Something like that, okay? I go to full, and I then decide on my style. Now, You can either do width or you can do height. And you could just do something like this and say, okay, I want it to be a certain height. Unless the image requires you to adjust the height, I tend to work with just width. Okay, so I might say the pixel for this is going to be 150. No, 150 is too small. 250, there we go. And the maximum will be 250 as well. Sometimes people forget to do the max width. Always do your max width as well, all right? Otherwise, it will adjust when you start to get to different devices. I'm going to go to this column and I'm going to make the vertical line be in the middle, just so it's more central with the deer as well. Now then, this is the point when I would hit update and stop and have a think about, is this what I'm trying to achieve? Is this the look that I really want to go for? And this is the point where I might then go, actually, the wording here needs to be more of a pink color. We'll just go, no, actually, that's a rubbish color. Let's go for a more of a neon pink. Something more flashier. There we go, like that. And I'm just going to, whoops a daisy, I'm just going to take that color, now that I've picked it, go to site settings, go to global colors, and make sure I've got it selected down here. This is my test website, which is why I've got a ridiculous amount of colors here, because I mess around all the time, okay? Don't ever have this many colors, okay? If you've got this many on, right, you really need to stop and think about what you're doing, okay? So let's say we've done some color schemes and we've got some images and whatever like that. You need to then take a stop, sorry, not take a stop. Stop and think about your layout. Always go into your mobile mode, okay? Put it as 378 as a minimum. As a minimum, 378. You can go smaller, you can go larger, but 378 is a good point to start at. And now look at your section, right? In the desktop, 2 columns side by side. We're laughing, we're happy. When we get to the mobile, column 1 is here and column 2 now goes like that. That's textbook, that's how it works. But look at the layout, okay? It might look okay to you now, but if we view that on an actual mobile, I guarantee you the wording there is going to be very close to the side. Because if I go to my desktop at the moment, this section has got a default gap. I'm intentionally going to set it to no gap, right? Because I like to control how things look. And we go back to the tablet. And we go to 378. It's bang against the sides now. There's no breathing space. So for the mobile, always go in and adjust how it looks. The 100 from the top was a bit too high. So I'm going to go 50 from the top. And we'll go 100 from the bottom. Now, there is no header here. If you were going to do a header, you would go to your templates and add in a header template. I'm just focusing on the page here. But as a rule of thumb, I always give my sections 15 pixels left and right for the padding. I just find 15 works really, really well when you're viewing it on a screen. If you start to go with like 20 or if you start to do percentages, that's kind of okay. But there will come a point when you're looking on a particular type of screen and then the spacing goes like that, huge, because you went and set it to 10% and now it is doing 10%. Whereas I say 15 on the mobile or the tablet, it's perfectly fine. You don't need to go any bigger than that. And then you got to stop and think about now, look, so on the desktop, the text beneath the header was okay. But on the mobile, it looks cramped. Funny how the 20 pixel difference on a desktop looks really spacious because there's loads of white space. But on the mobile, the exact same distance of 20 pixels now looks cramped. Don't you think? So you want to go into your text and just give it some margin, give it some breathing space. Let's double it up. Okay, yeah, let's double it up. That looks fine. And what about the image? This column is now bang up against column 1. Let's go in again and let's now give this a bit of breathing space, maybe something like that. That is now breathing, okay? On the mobile, it's not fighting for attention. Read, 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 move on to the next section. And if you are careful about how you build things, if you had left it cramped, section 2 would probably have started somewhere here. And that's when you're going to hit the above the fold. So when you do your page speed insights, if you've got too much going on here, and you've got stuff creeping up and half an image is cut off, it will affect your page speed insight score. So by spacing things out, you can actually not beat, but make your score better. I'm giving you tricks here, okay? So section 2, even though it might start like halfway on the page on the desktop, on the mobile, I will make sure section 2 does not start until after the fold, because I don't want it to affect the page speed score. Just checking the comments there. So if we go back to the section, do one section and do it really well. Get it to look the way you want before you move it into any other section. Why? Because now I can just duplicate section 1, right? I could, in fact, section 1 here doesn't have to be 200. I'm going to change it to be 100 there. I can now go into section 2. I could probably get rid of the padding we have over here and bring it up further to the top. And this is where I can now start to mess around with the content. Because in effect, when you get section 1 really, really well, when you duplicate it for section 2, yes, you're going to shift things around, but it's already got your padding in there. So this will already have the mobile padding in. It's already got certain components in there. Just checking the comments. So Charlie's just said, this is exactly what I did on the news site. Good on you, Charlie. Good man. Arindam has said, I need help on creating lead generation form using Elementor form. Where mobile number, there should be a custom prefix and customer can't fill numbers more than 10 in. I think you asked this before, either directly to me or it was on the Elementor Facebook community group. So what Arindam wants to do is have a form, and then he wants to have a +91 prefix number. Now, I do not know how to do that yet. I have asked someone to advise me because they said there might be a way to do it. But there are a few plugins out there. So if you do a search for Elementor form prefix or something like that, there is a plugin. But I'm going to remind myself of this and just put prefix number. Right, so I've written it down here. +91. I will have a look at this, okay? And I'll try and get back to you on this. Maybe next week or probably before that, because I like to get things done, sorted out a lot quicker. Now, I'm going to remove all of these items here and just have one column. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the padding as well. Like so. Let's just do that. And I'm now going to drop in a image over here. And I'm going to pick a particular image. I'm actually going to go for this mountain. I don't know why. It's just it's a lovely little mountain range, isn't it? Is that in America? If anybody recognises that. John, do you go jogging around here after you've watched these videos? I bet you do. I bet you do, my dear friend. So we've got an image here, okay? One of the things that I'm starting to use a lot more is that, obviously, you know, when you do your image, decide if it's going to be the full width or not, or how big it's going to be. But I tend to use the CSS Filter option quite a bit, so I might decide, right, I'm going to make the image a little bit brighter, or I'm going to affect the contrast or do things like that. But the feature I'm using a lot more of now is the mask one. The mask is a great thing to do. I mean, circle and flower and sketch and all of these sort of things, you know, whoops-a-daisy, you know, blob, these are all a little bit, yeah, you know, when this first came out, there were loads of people sticking websites on Elementor, and they were all having the blob, and it was exactly the same blob, and it was like, it's like the shape divider with the waves. Everywhere you go, everyone's got the wave, and it's like, think of something different. Don't just follow the same crowd. So rather than using one of these shapes, I tend to use for a custom, and I will be releasing a video on how you create custom image masking. Okay, it's dead simple, and how you convert a PNG to an SVG. It's so simple, you probably know how to do this already. But here's an image that I converted into an SVG. In fact, let me show you this one first. I'm going to drop in this monster image. We get a monster image with a background. Look at that. What? Crazy. Isn't that so? I just love stuff like this. You know, we can fill it, we can fit it, whatever we want to do. Or I could go in here and go for something like this. And we just start to have unique bespokeness. So let's say you had a cake shop, right? You get an SVG of a cake. Fairy cake, whatever cake you want to get, right? Icing. Can you get an image of icing? How would you show icing? It would just look like something dribbling out of a bottle or something. But you get an SVG. You put your image in and you can now see bits of the cake. You're enticing them, right? Because I'm getting the image here, but I'm not seeing all of it. So I'm going to want to go further or deeper. One of the things that disappoints me a little bit about image masking, though, is that you cannot now have the scroll parallax effect. I'm going to try and work out how to do it, and when I do, I will show you all. But because you can't apply the masking to a to a section or a column, only to the image, you can't do it. But you will have hopefully seen the videos I released last week where you could use there's a video I did where you get some custom CSS code. So you can now have whatever shape. Well, you're limited to the shape, but you can have a reasonable shape for your section. Sliced sections, I called it. So that could be an idea. But to do this, you can only do image masking. Jonas says, no jogging for this old man, but the mountain could well be in Colorado. Do you know what? I think you're right. In fact, I don't actually know. I don't travel much. I think I told you all, the last holiday I did was 11 years ago to Hong Kong. And I was shocked because it was more expensive to buy things in Hong Kong than it was in England. And I was like, there's no discounts. Lovely place, though. Right, so this is just image masking. Now, remember, though, like I said, when you do one section, don't move on to the next section until you have checked to see how it looks. So here we got padding, but then we got section 2 starting. Now, you will say that's a lot of white space. And I would say to you, yes, but I do not want this image to cut above the fold because you'll get half of it cut off. It will affect your page speed insight score. Trust me, it will. So the image is fine. Is the layout okay? It's working pretty well. I have to say, though, this is accidental, but you know how this has got a cloud over here? Look how the cloud is like giving us half a pill or a capsule. Kind of cool, isn't it? But this is a great way of how you can add some individuality, okay? So you can get a complete custom SVG symbol. I mean, look, this is now where you start to think outside the box, okay? So we've got this image here. I'm going to drop in another image into this same column, okay? So we're still in the same section or column. I'm going to pick a transparent image. So we're going to go for, let's go for this person here. He's flying in the air, okay? I'm now going to make this image by going to positioning. I'm going to make this custom. And I'm also going to go down to this image and I'm going to make this one be custom as well. This ain't going to work, I bet. There we go. That is now custom as well, okay? So they're not on the same line yet, but they are customized. I'm now going to go to advanced and I'm now just going to pick up this image. I could just pick it up completely. I mean, this is really slow when you start to do it like this, okay? But let's just make it 5, something like that, okay? I'm now going to go to the column and I'm going to say the default for the column is in the center. So now we get this person here in the center. Now, why have I done this? What was the point of this? Was there any point? Let me explain. You know when you see the new Marvel posters, in fact, I'm going to see if I can pick one up here. Black Widow poster. Okay, so look at the Black Widow poster here. Right? See this poster, okay? Great movie. I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I was just listening to the Avengers soundtrack. Got me all emotional. Anyway, if you imagine the background here where we have that like almost like an egg timer effect, okay, in the background. Imagine that was an SVG. You've got an image and you've got an SVG, right? And you got your background. All of these could be additional images that you're now overlapping, right, over here. And if you were to take each of these images, so we're now on the second image. If I go to motion effect, scroll effect, and you know where I'm going with this, and we go with transparency. Okay, let me get this probably a bit too high there. Something like that, and we'll go with, let me get this right. No, I've gone too high. I hate it when I get this wrong. I think it's like this, isn't it? Transparency. There we go. I think I need to do something like that. Yeah, something like that, right? So if you've got loads of images now, you can have a background image, right? Where you've got an SVG going on. And then as you scroll, bits appear. It could be different products. It could be the layout. Imagine you're an architect, right? And you've got a plan. And then you're going to show another level of the plan, like the topography of the ground or the structure, a 3D image. Then you're going to show interior decoration. It all appears as you scroll. And it's just another level of something you can add to a website. And like I said, always check on the mobile. So just because 520 was okay on the desktop, when we get to the mobile, okay, 520 is just way too high, okay? So I'm now going to change this to be 0, and I'm going to find, oopsie daisy, didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. Put it on 0, 0, 0. Put it on negative, and we're going to go with something like, in fact, it's probably something like that. No. You got to play around with it, okay? You're going to resize it, and you're going to make it appear how you want it to appear, okay? Obviously, you're going to go to style. You know, pixels, you might go with, I don't know, 100. 100's too small. 200. You know, I'm kind of not doing this in a very professional way, am I? I'm just rushing through it, just trying to get stuff done. But you would restyle it. You could have lots of things appear as you scroll up and down the page. I mean, this is very blunt. Boom, it appears. You want to have a bit more of a faded in effect. But can you see how you can like be a little bit more creative in how you get things to appear? Don't just be the standard template. Whenever Astra or anyone do a template, I'm really sorry, but these templates are so boring. Image, image, text, text, image. Big deal. You know, they're giving you something you probably could have created yourself. Probably taken a bit of time, but you could have created it yourself. So I say try and just be a bit creative. Just checking the messages here. Does custom positioning affect the time the page takes to load? No, Charlie, it does not. And I can tell you that because I mean, look, if I just show you our website, websquadron.co.uk. See this bit, I'm still, sometimes I hit 100% on the mobile page speed score. Okay, it does not affect you whatsoever. And I know Charlie takes his page speed score seriously. Hey Mark, good to see you. But I would say that if your page speed score is over 94%, even 92%, that is super good. Because you can't always hit 100% completely. And you might hit it and then next day 99, 98, 96 because of server speed. But if you're over 92 or above percent, that's super good. So even if there was a little bit of an effect, I would not lose sleep over it, okay? And I would just say that go for what works on your website. Sometimes you have to take the hit if you have to seriously show something. But I have found from experience, this does not really make much difference whatsoever. So Arendam has said, we can duplicate the section and show one version on mobile and one for desktop. Exactly. And this is something I keep saying as well to other people, in that if you didn't want to go for like this entire like motion effect on the mobile, you could just have the image. So on the desktop, you get the moving in one. Boom, 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 boom. Everything scrolls in. Let me get rid of that, sorry. But on the mobile version, you just have a static image. And I sometimes say that it is better on the mobile to just do this. So let me go to 378. Rather than having things floating in and appearing all the time, because it gets a bit busy, just have it. You know, as you scroll, it might move a little bit or maybe move to left or right. That is simple enough. And that gives a little bit of, people love to go, oh, look at that, it's moving. But if you have too many things appearing, what you don't want is for there to be a slight delay. You shouldn't get a delay, by the way. You know, I know there's a 2 and 4 argument against WebP. I use WebP, I'm sorry. But, you know, as long as you haven't got big, heavy images, you should be totally okay. Hey, Tiara, hey, how you doing? I did, by the way, you emailed me and I sent you an email back, but I hope you're okay. And Tiara does loads of good work helping people out in Africa with building websites. You are a good man. Subban, thank you, man, for his great content. Hey, good to have you here. And by the way, remember, everyone, watch the video we released on Monday. If you haven't got an Elementor Pro package licenses, go and get it. Use the affiliate link. Because when you buy something, it gives me enough to maybe possibly go and buy a brand new. This has been here for 2 days. I just haven't gone to the bin. Well, I have been out the garden office. I just haven't got rid of it. I dare not even drink from it because I'll probably collapse. So remember, right, when you're doing your sections, always check in the mobile. Please don't do what a lot of people are doing at the moment is someone created a website that was 25 pages, contacted me and said, could I make it responsive? And I said, yeah, we would, but there's a cost for that. And I said, even if I charged you like $30 per page times 25, that's a lot of money there, right? It was like going up to close to like 700, probably more than that actually, $700 or something. And they were like, no, I'm only going to pay you $60. I went, $60 to do 25 pages? Okay, you're going to have to go to Fiverr. Okay, and by the way, there is nothing wrong with using Fiverr because there are loads of talented people out there. However, in the UK or the US or anywhere else, Australia, Canada, there's different pricing brackets, and you know you have to respect what we do. Just double checking the questions here. MD Shabazz Alam, love from India. I think is this the first time you've joined us, MD Shabazz? Good to have you here though. Now again with some further sections. Hey, I tell you what, I'm thinking about doing a not 24 hour, that'd be too long. I'm thinking about doing like a 6-7 hour live session on a weekend one day. So people can just drop in and out and pester me. Or I'll just be sat there like that, staring at my screen, doing stuff. So Charlie said to me, have I used Fiverr? There is someone I have used from Fiverr not so long ago. And it was because I wanted to get an answer to a question on how to so we released a video, was it on Saturday? I think it was on Saturday, on how we make the icons in the tabs. So you know where you have tabs, let me just show you tabs. Okay, so where you have tabs, right, tabs do not have an icon. So whereas with accordion or even toggle we have the plus and minus, right, and it changes, you can't do that on tabs. You can add in an icon, but the icon will not change. It stays the same icon. He helped me out with a bit of code, and you can see that on the video we released, I think it was on Saturday, which basically is super simple code as well. Like super ridiculously simple. Now you can have plus and minus or any symbol that you want. So if you want to have a go on that, go and look at the video for what to do there. So yeah, Charlie, I will happily pass over to you. Well, you're always contacting me on Facebook. I'll let you know the details of this person. They are based, I think they're based in Pakistan, but they were super good, super reliable. And I will be honest with you, over 52 people contacted me saying they could solve it. None of them could do a test screen, nowhere near. This guy pops up in 20 minutes, he solved it. And he solved something that some experts on the Elementor community group could not even solve. All right, so super good guy, and I would share that with you. Okay, he also does optimization and stuff, so you might get some tips out of him on that. Okay, make sure you let him know that I referred you. I get nothing out of it, but he might give me a thanks. So what we're going to do is just play around now with just adding in again some. In fact, I'm just going to copy this column here. Happy Thanksgiving. And that's all because John is celebrating at this moment. Everybody give John a wave. We're going to go to this column over here, and I'm going to give this a bit more padding. So I'm just going to give it about 20, something like that. Let's just shrink this up over here. And I'm going to go to this column, and I'm going to give it a border. Okay, because sometimes when you have white pages, well, let me just show you. Okay, it's always easier if I show you, isn't it? So let me just give some padding here. Let's go with about 30 and 30. Okay, so sometimes two sections exactly the same. I'm going to go to this column, and I'm going to give it a very light grey style. F3, or E4, E3 even. They're my favourite pale grey backgrounds. And when you look at a page, when you're trying to break up the whiteness of the page, because white is super clean and I love it, but too much white sometimes is a bit too much. That is great, but sometimes you don't need to do any shading. You can do something really simple. I'm coming back to the comments, by the way. Don't feel like I'm ignoring anyone. You could, if you want, just give it like a really simple like line. So we'll go with a 1, and we'll go with that same pink color we had there. So if I now view that, you could if you want. Can you see the effect there? We have exactly the same text, the same padding, but which one is working for you better? The grey is fine, but I feel the grey jars your head a little bit. It's kind of jumping into your sight. Whereas the pink border, 1 pixel width for the line all around, is kind of gentle, don't you think? So, you know, there are ways how you can make things stand out a little bit better, but it's kind of like not completely in your face kind of thing. Just checking the comment. By the way, I'm wearing this hat because it's really cold today. I've got a heater on below my legs, and it's super cold. Hey, no bad. How you doing from Las Vegas? Oh dear, are you gambling? Which is okay. I gamble quite a bit as well, but I'm trying not to gamble too much. John, just in case your finger slips, please share the code with me as well if it's possible. Oh, is this about the are you asking about the tabs code? Because if you are after the tabs code, okay, I'll just quickly show you. YouTube. I'll quickly show you which video it is, and I'll paste a link down here. So if we just go to my channel, okay, it is. Where is it? Here it is. It's this one here. Let me get the link.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to reveal.
Stop talking. Right, okay, let's just back that up. Right. So here's the link. Okay, so for tabs and icons, there's the video. Okay, don't watch it yet. Get the link, copy it, and watch it later, okay? But that allows you to change your icons, okay? And it is super, super good, right? I had a client, not a client, it was someone who needed help. He was really struggling. He's paid 3 people on Fiverr and other places. None of them can solve it. And this guy comes along and just sorts it out for me so I could pass it on. Shabazz has said, MD Shabazz, MD, does that stand for Managing Director? Managing Director Shabazz Alam says, can I make a video on how to create a locomotive and scrolling effect page from scratch? When you say locomotive, and sorry for my understanding, I totally get scrolling effect, okay? In fact, I have done videos on that, okay? Just to let you know, if you go to videos, we did one here. We did a horizontal scrolling website, and we did another one here, fade in and out sections where we have a scrolling effect, okay? So we have got videos and tutorials on scrolling effects. But when you say locomotive, what do you mean by that? Because I'm sorry if I'm misunderstanding, and maybe I should know this, okay? And maybe I have to double check it. But can you just say what you mean by locomotive, and I'll have a think about it, okay? Don't forget, everyone, if you are following us and you keep in touch with our community posts that always pop out over here on the community bit for the Web Squadron, don't forget our 5-day challenge. So if you please make sure you sign up for that, because we're actually kicking that off next week. Okay, so down here, the 5-day challenge, I'm just going to copy the link over here. You don't have to do this, all right? But if you want to sign up for the 5-day challenge, it's totally free. And I'll let you into a secret. There will be an offer whereby we will give you Elementor Pro license, okay? So you can help yourself out. No Home Nomad. He is not gambling in Las Vegas, but he's enjoying the warm weather. I bet you are, my dear friend. I will go to Las Vegas one day, and I will just throw my money into the air and hope it comes back heavier. Probably won't. It'll disappear. But back onto topic. Borders work really, really well, in my opinion, okay? And I just find that, you know, when you go to a column and you go to a motion effect and you do like a scrolling effect, and we're going to do like a horizontal scroll, we're going to say to the right, and I will go for, we'll go for about, in fact, 4 works okay. If I update that and we just go for a preview of this page, we get that jumping effect coming on top of the image mask. We get that box, and then look, we get this box. Sorry, it's not, that's, oh, sorry, my fault. Let me just add in some padding of about 300, something like that. Because I did not have enough padding, I can't get the full scroll effect. So look, we now get that coming in. So simple things you can do to make your website jump out and just feel a lot different. And remember, whenever you do a section, don't you dare move on to another one until you have checked how it looks. So this is the section with the grey. This is where you have to have a think now. Are you happy with that being all the way to the border? Or are you going to go to the section and you're going to say, right, okay, we got 30 from the top and we're going to have 15, 30 and 15. So are you going to make it come in a bit? And when we get to the bottom here, are you happy with how this is looking? Now, this is kind of okay because as I slide, I read, and this is where people will go up and down, up and down. Oh, I really love that animation. Have a think about what works for you and what's working for your client. Right, I'm just going to check what MD Shabazz said. Is there any trick to get Elementor Pro at the cheapest price? Yes, there is, my dear friend, and I'm going to share it with you right now. It's called Black Friday, okay? So, oops daisy, was that the right? I don't think that's the right one. Have I shared the wrong one with everyone? I think I've shared the wrong one with everyone. Right, let me just get the link. This is the link you need. That's going to probably start playing. There we go. Right, so this is the link that you need, okay? Let me just put it here. So this is going to give you discounts, okay? Now remember, Shabazz, if you look, let me explain what I mean, okay? And please, I don't mean to disrespect anyone. What? Oh yeah, because I've pasted it on the wrong address. There you go. Right. So look, Black Friday right now, you get a $5 discount. And you might say big deal, but this is where I need you to focus. See this here. $79. Yes, it is just for the first year, and you're going to have to pay $99 every other year, but $79, right? 79. Let me quickly do the mathematics of this. $79 divided by 3 is $26 per license. If you then sell, when you have a client, you say, look, Elementor Pro, but it's going to cost you $49. But if you buy it from me, I'll give you a $5 discount for $44. So if they buy it off you for $44, but you only paid $26 because you got it at this deal, you make $17 or $18 rounded up profit. Now, if you go for the 25, which is $199, but you get it for $139 divided by 25, $5.50 per license. You now sell that for $45 to your client. You make $40 profit. And if you do get 25 clients a year, which is possible, don't always say you can't, it is possible. 40 times 25 is $1,000. Okay, you've just paid for that, and you've paid for a new car and a convertible and a brand new mansion house and a swimming pool and loads of gambling money to go with No Home No VAT. And you can go to Canada and visit John Boyd as well. Sorry, I didn't mean everything there, but the benefits of this are big and major. I really do mean it. And I know there's people out there saying, but I cannot afford this. You must invest in yourself. The amount I've invested to do all of this, the camera, the lighting, everything, it's for you guys, because I hope it pays back eventually. We invested in Elementor Pro. We invested in the 1,000 licenses before, and we'd only had 2 clients at that time. No, it wasn't 2, it was 6. We had 6 clients, and we invested because we believed and we could see having Elementor Pro is so much better than just having Elementor Free, because you start to use loads of plugins, and my first 4 websites kept breaking because of too many plugins. You will benefit, and when you start to sell that back to your clients, it starts to pay in for yourself. So don't give away licenses for free. We made that mistake, but from now on, or from a while ago now, we say to our clients, you want to use GoDaddy's builder, fine, but there's a limitation to what we can do. Or you can pay $40 to get the Elementor Pro license, $9 cheaper than going direct. And because we got 1,000 licenses, it's like not even $1. It's like $0.50 or something per license. So it's our way of making back the money for what we invested. Okay, so really think hard about that. So invest in yourself. Do not be shy of that. Look, we've got 7 minutes left. We have 7 minutes left, people, and then I'm gonna run away and I am gonna go watch Hawkeye. If you've got Disney Plus, Hawkeye, the new Marvel series is out. And if you have not been catching up on Marvel, shame on you. You must watch all of it. Okay, I love stuff like that. But I haven't gone into massive amount of detail in today's live chat. I have to be honest. I thought I would probably do a bit more. But what I wanted to get across was, and I hope I have, is simple things in how you can make your page feel a little bit different, and how you should always methodically section, get it right, go to mobile, then do the next section, then do the next section. Because if you were to now save this page, right, duplicate it for your next page, and then rearrange the content, your padding, your mobile, everything is okay. So if I decide I'm now going to put another image somewhere else, and it's going to be the same size as this, I just have to pick up the column or just pick up the image, and I'm just going to dump it in here. Okay, and it's going to be the same size. And when it comes to mobile, it will already have the padding and everything worked out within it. You are reducing the amount of time. So that person who said, I got 25 websites, I need help. Yeah, because if you'd done page 1, nearly every page was roughly the same. But if they did page 1 and checked it, they would have been fine for every other page. Little tweaks here or there, and it would have been sorted. Absolutely, Charlie. I mean, when we first started using Elementor in August 2020, the first time we used Elementor, we were still new. I was watching videos trying to learn, oh God, what does this do and all of that? And I started using unlimited add-ons, happy add-ons, master add-ons, so many plugins. Some of my websites had Elementor free and 5 other plugins. And then one by one, conflict, problem, errored out, wasn't working, things on the screen. You know, you work it and it goes problem. You go, what? Hang on, what's going on here? And that's when we made and WooCommerce. We had to install 3 extra plugins to get WooCommerce to do what we wanted and look different. Elementor Pro knocked it out. And since last year, I mean, Elementor 3.5, the cart and checkout, and it's going to get better. Trust me, they are ramping up things. I can see what they're doing. And I think there's some much more exciting stuff to come out. And of course, you've got all of us here as well to help train you and support you as well. Hey, Puluk, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum to you too. But yes, look, everyone. I will be signing off in 4 minutes' time. So any final questions you want to ask, please do. And I want to say to every one of you that joins on here, thank you so much. And so many repeat people that keep coming back as well. I don't know why you do, but please keep coming because I love you all, okay? Yeah, exactly, Charlie. I mean, luckily I only bought a few premium add-ons. I mean, I never used them again because I suddenly realized I don't need them. And to this day, there's only one website out of the last 40 where I used an add-on because I couldn't get it to do what I wanted in Elementor Pro. Just one thing. Other than that, the CSS codes and a bit of tweaking, you get what you want with Elementor Pro. And every time I learn something brand new, or I go, ooh, this is how you do it, I put a video together and get it out there. So I'm trying to help you all out. And I have nothing against people who make add-ons. They are great, great people. But add-ons are more for people, I believe, where you don't want to get Elementor Pro. That's the way I see it. But I would always say that when you get the budget to do it, invest and do it, okay? Because too many plugins, it's like putting on too many hats, and at some point you're going to have too many and you're going to fall over due to the weight of it, okay? Color pick eyedropper extensions, Arindam says. This will help to color any color from any website. Yeah, I have found the color pick eye that you could get with Elementor to be a little bit... sometimes it works, but not totally well. But I use a MacBook, you see, so I already on my MacBook have like a little tool already on there that I click and I get a picker, and as soon as I hover, I get the code. So I don't need to use it on my Elementor. I don't need to install a plugin. I believe Windows machines also have it. There is an extension or something you can add to your operating system so you don't have to add on the extension. It will give you the hex code. So you're saving yourself too much bloat. You know, you're saving yourself storage space. Okay, everyone. There's 2 minutes left and I will be signing off in a moment. But we've got quite a lot of videos coming out. I just want to let you know, hey, this guy's super cool, isn't he? But I'm going to let you know that some of the videos we've got coming out. Okay, let's go to the content over here. So tomorrow we've got a video coming out about Elementor Pro Gallery. Sorry, no, that's on Saturday. how do you add individual links? So when you have the Elementor Pro gallery and you have loads of images, you can't add a link per image. On Saturday, we've got a video coming out showing you how to do that. And tomorrow, we've got one on how do you add WooCommerce filters for your shop, but as a pop-up menu, okay? So look, there's all these videos I've created. I've got about 10 videos that are still to come out because I love to do things in advance. Right, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Thank you all for joining. I'm sorry if I talk too fast. I get overexcited when I start shaking and talking really fast. But look, thank you everyone for joining in. I love supporting you all. I love making a difference. And I hope to see some of you on the 5-day challenge starting next week. But take care. And I'll see you all soon. And I'm trying to find the button of how I sign out. I can't find a button on how to sign out. Okay, look, take care. How do I sign out? Here we go. Yes, here we go. I'm going to end the stream now. Look, take care and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.